kind of feels like if Steven Spielberg directed a thriller.
Ooh, that's a hot mug, guy.
Hey guys, this is my review for Weapons. Apologies for the delay and apologies for the absence. Work has been a lot right now. Work has been very busy the last little while, but I am sitting here to talk about this film because I feel like this is definitely a great call to original filmmaking and to original ideas. It's reflected in the box office, the reviews, and the audience reception. Weapons is such a great film in its layers between its very cool mystery, its very good slow burn in terms of its thriller sense, the multitude of layering of its storytelling, non-linear leading to a linear finale, and everything down to the means of how this story is told through visual storytelling, audio storytelling, and character design and writing. Director and writer Zach Cregger, I feel, took every note and criticism that he got from Barbarian, which was pretty decent, but had some issues. I feel like he took every single bit of criticism and knowledge and know-how from that film and puts it into Weapons and exceeds everywhere where Weapons failed or came up short. This film follows a multitude of characters after an event in which a bunch of children woke up in the middle of the night and walked out into the night and never came back. The poster for this movie was the first thing I saw, and that was all it said. And this little photo of the kid with the wings on it, and I remember being hooked like nothing else. I haven't been hooked by a poster in years. And then when the trailers started coming out, they were very good. They weren't revealing anything, which felt like a godsend, which is nuts because that shouldn't be the problem. But regardless, we did not get any spoilers. Anytime that a trailer did appear on anywhere else, I just avoided it, and I am so grateful for it because I feel like getting into this movie as raw as possible is the way to watch it. Sure, you can have the critical reception, but even then I didn't watch anyone's reviews because I wanted to go into this raw, and I'm gonna do the same for you guys even though it's been out for a little while. But this is a town that is falling apart to a mystery that is choking everyone. It is turning people against people. It is putting this very realistic take on a very significant event involving parents, and when parents don't know what to do, they lash out and they blame, or they inwardly hate themselves. And that is reflected amongst a bunch of the characters. Josh Brolin is probably one of the standouts of this, but Josh is really good in usually everything he's in, but he is really a standpoint in this. Obviously, everyone's talking about Julia Gardner, and she does a great job too, because she's not this pitch perfect character that's being blamed for things. She has her own vices, as does everyone else in this movie. Everyone has a vice, or is offset, or is too trusting, or is suspicious, and I like that there isn't a good character. I've seen some people say that there aren't any character arcs in this movie, and I want to disagree with that because there are more central. It's not this big overarching, oh, what did I learn from this? It is a person is trying to overcome a stigma, or if not a full-on hate that they have received for something that they haven't done, or they are trying to direct their anger, their frustration, their confusion towards the goal of finding out what happens. But I really have to give compliments again to the visual storytelling. The DOP in this film does so much more for Zach's story than most people might give him credit for. There are movements with the camera that help give tension, tight turns, tight corners, following characters through narrow ways that lead to some surprising circumstances that are not even related to what the mystery is. It's just the characters and their consequences of their actions. All of this flows through this movie, to the opening montage of all the kids running out into the night, to the final absolutely insane conclusion to this film. Another thing I've seen people complain about is that it's a non-linear story for the sake of being a non-linear story, but if the story wasn't layered the way it was, nothing would hit as hard as it is. And it's that reasoning that makes this film so entertaining. Christopher Nolan would probably even agree with that too, is that in terms of how you structure the story, it's how pieces fall into the puzzle that matters the most. So long as the narrative is in a cohesive thing, there is a beginning and then there's an end, but the middle can be what you want it to be so long as it flows. Prestige is a great example. That movie, technically speaking, starts in the middle and then it ends at the beginning, but also at the end. And that's why I feel that Weapons works. Weapons has this non-linear sort of functioning up until the end, and then the ending is the end. and it hits all the for it. And sure, maybe the last chapter does have a bit of exposition to it, but it is bringing everything full circle. It is explaining why things have happened, but it doesn't feel unnatural. It doesn't feel like, hi, I am plot device, here is plot. This is going back to the root of what the cause is and then bringing it full circle. I was so impressed with how this film plays out. I was impressed with everyone's performances. I was especially impressed with the visual storytelling. The DOP absolutely gets top marks from me on this. And I was really impressed with its conclusion. I think that Weapons is definitely going to be one of the standouts of the year. It's definitely going to be on a lot of people's top 10 lists, and it deserves to be. And like I said, every mistake or kind of fumble that Zach made with Barbarian, he absolutely succeeds with Weapons. I am very curious to see what he makes next. I don't know if it will be as good as Weapons, especially because of just the overall viral hype for this film, but I am excited regardless. So in the end, I'm going to give Weapons a 7 out of 7. This was a solid film this year. Solid. I was hooked every minute of this film. I was intrigued every moment of this film, and I was satisfied at the very, very end of this film. But those are my thoughts about this movie. Very curious to see what you guys have to say. Let me know in the comments below. What did you guys like about it? Did you dislike it? Let's have a discussion. I'm curious to see what other people have to say. And at this point too, the twist has probably been revealed. If y'all want to talk about it in the comments, just maybe say spoilers. But yeah, I'm curious, because for me, when it was revealed, I was initially like, oh, it's that. But it worked so well with what it was doing, and it's like, that makes sense, everything about that checks. So curious again to see what you guys have to say. I promise that I am getting close to the end of my season. It is all on the horizon. I think like another month of this and I should be out of my editing well. But yeah, so like I said, sorry for the delay on everything and sorry for my absence, but I hope you guys can understand. Anyways guys, that's all for me. See y'all next time.